Chainmail. I just got through watching an interview on TV with Troy Casey, and they were forcing this idea upon him that somehow what they called modern standards of beauty were unfair and hurtful to society. And they used the example of Victoria's Secret models, and the argument has some merit, I suppose, and in that it gives what they say an unreasonable, unrealistic standard that what they call real women cannot possibly attain. Like these models are not real women. They certainly look like real women if you ask me. They say that these women are not healthy, and this is somehow in some way promoting anorexia, that they are responsible for eating disorders. Anorexia is only one. There's also that one when they vomit, bulimia. The same thing probably applies with the perfect male bodies that we see in adverts for cologne. I mean, when your average guy walks down the street, he's not one of these rippling muscular types that you see on those things. But the media doesn't seem to feel like banging on about that quite so much. My conclusion is the media thinks we're fools. They really take us for a bunch of assholes. They really do. I mean, it's certainly true that reaching the level of physical excellence that one of these model has is difficult, incredibly difficult, very close to impossible perhaps. In order to keep their jobs, there is a super strict regimen of diet and exercise. All of this is required, along with favourable genetics, and I suppose a hell of a lot of free time. But that is no way an unfair standard. It's rather an example of what can be done. It's an ideal that could be attained, and we can at least move towards it. Well, why don't we take the focus off any kind of blame mentality? Because the other side of blame is I'm a victim. So forget about Victoria's Secret, forget about this crap about unrealistic standards, and forget paranoia about the evil diet industry. Forget everything outside yourself and accept reality. You are in your current state. The way your body is right now is merely your starting point. Blame is not a starting point. And if you are a human being, then you'll have room for improvement, rather. So apply the changes that are necessary and do so without complaint. But you do need an ecology check. I mean, you do know that being slim and athletic isn't the same as being a skinny, emaciated wreck. You do know that. That health is part of the game. I mean, you do know that. Being fat isn't healthy, and you do know that, don't you? Cheating, using funny drugs to stop yourself eating, or weird surgeries could have side effects and could be detrimental. You know that. If you take away the self-hate and the blame, and maybe let wisdom guide your hand, then maybe you can indeed be slim, athletic, and beautiful with no danger of these kind of eating disorders and self-destructive habits. You don't have to be a victim of society at all. Self-love, self-love. This alone will keep the eating disorders at bay. And really, there's no room for resentment. There's no room for self-hate in the game of life. Anyway, back to the perfect bodies of Hollywood. And think of Gerard Butler, a fat dude who became King Leonidas in the movie 300. Check that movie out if you haven't seen it. Look what he looks like. It was hard work and dedication. And according to the interview I saw with him, he hated every minute of it. What about Hugh Jackman? What about him? What woman doesn't slobber at him every time he takes his shirt off? Well, it was hard work and dedication that produced that body. People with the words unrealistic standards on their lips are coming from a place of pure resentment. Resentment is not living life, it's hating life. And if you don't have what it takes to become excellent, not just with the body, I mean in any sphere, if you don't have what it takes to become excellent, then the very least you can do is admire and respect those who can, at least, not resentment. For Man Among the Ruins, this is Chainmail.